Rick Brovedani, Director of Business Development and Strategy at ARRIS. Fundamentally, outsourcing breaks down into three key focus areas. First is staff augmentation. I think it's a pretty straightforward model. Customers require some expertise, particularly on a project or initiative that has to get completed in a certain time. They may not have the resources, their body, or knowledge, or capabilities. The second one is fundamentally managed services. Most of the times, managed services typically engage or are involved with ARRIS solution sets that we've deployed. And this usually falls into the area where customers are getting into a new service or market area, getting a new solution set that involves new technologies, and they may not have the resources or expertise in-house to be able to properly manage that. There's an example of a large Asian operator that we worked with where we were responsible for deploying and implementing their entire head-end and video infrastructure. We did the first part, which was implemented, designed, architected, deployed the solution set. Then we operated that system for a period of time while the customers recruited staff and resources. We provided knowledge transfer and training, and then at a certain point we handed over and transferred the system and the operations to the customers' teams themselves. So managed services, from a perspective of offerings, covers a wide range, from a hosted model where we're hosting the solution set at a data center within ARRIS or a commercial data center, to where we're actually putting staff on site to manage a deployment that we've done for a customer and manage the operations in an on-site fashion. From an example of a hosted model, we've worked with a large North American operator in terms of deploying an ARRIS solution set that's linked to their video service. From that perspective, we've hosted that model, that platform in an ARRIS data center. We manage that from a day-to-day basis. We monitor, upgrade, perform remote management and monitoring, trouble resolution as a service, and the customer basically pays on a monthly fee as an operational expense model. The third is strategic outsourcing. And we're seeing more of this as customers start to get involved in more complex service offerings. Strategic outsourcing focuses on a much larger, more complex engagement with the customer. And it typically involves taking over a specific job function or operational function within the customer's organization. What they look at there is this particular function or role within the company strategic to their business, or is it something that's tactical that could be improved upon by outsourcing to a lower cost provider? To provide an example of strategic outsourcing, the customer was looking in terms of how to improve the costs and operational efficiencies of their CMTS deployments and their network design. So we were engaged to provide a discovery model, sat down and understood and assessed how the customer was doing things today, provided recommendations in terms of best practices in terms of how to change their operational model, change their procedures, tools that they use, some of the methodologies and engagement models. That's now translated into a process where we're now engaged with the customer to define where we could take on those operations, leveraging some of the tools and capabilities and expertise that ARRIS has to both lower the cost and improve the efficiencies and customer service levels. But what makes ARRIS special is its people, and specifically in my experience, it's the passion. It's the passion that these people bring to the table in terms of their areas of expertise, about their commitment to the customer, their commitment to the success of what we're working with on the customer, whether that's a consulting engagement, whether that's just installing a CMTS into a rack. There is a commitment to excellence.